Oh, son of a gun, it's not happening. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, I can come in. Oh, now it does. Oh, well, it is what it is. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the kitchen counter here. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being in our home. We are very happy you're here. It's Jay Ryan. Very excited to announce that Nicole Ryan is here as well. In fact, why don't I do all of this in here? Because there's no reason to. There's no reason to be out there. Plus, there's plenty of room to pace in here. Help yourself to that too as well, because I always forget to tell you. But good evening, and we are very happy you're here. We're so happy you're here. I'm going to invite you to please click that like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and ring the bell. With that, we have a great show for you this evening. There's going to be a lot of this, actually. The truth is, LA Auto Show is in full effect. I went today. I went with Reggie and ended up going with Magnus too. Great day. We're going to talk all about that. But also from the DeLorean Next Generation Motors Company, Kat DeLorean is here. So we're going to talk to her as well. Our friend is up in Canada. Mike? Oh, shit. I wonder if this one's working now. Oh, there he is.
I'm here.
We have. Well, we are definitely in a new set, and it seems like it's a different
little
corner
more
too.
professional.
It's not only different looking; it's a different corner. Yeah.
Yeah, totally different part of the structure of the space. Yes, and this will be the Letterman podcast corner. HeCast will be over there. Very excited about things that are coming.
Yeah, buddy. And I'm looking at the bridge and everything. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
How do you
and
feel?
thank you for all of the wisdom. I feel great. Oh my goodness. And I want to do a Letterman podcast like this. I don't have one scheduled right now, but I want to do one while it's mid, and then the final product will be very, very cool too.
I see. I see your point, because this will you're in process. You're in process right now. Is that correct? Process? Is that
Very
what you
much
say?
so.
Is that what's? I think they call it
Yes.
process.
That's like connect thing, yeah.
Yeah, process up here in Canada sometimes from some people, but the point gets across. There's lots of technological upgrades that are coming. Like soon, I won't have a computer on the table. I'll be looking directly into camera because I'll have a thing on the camera that shows me the screen, but the camera looks through that. So
Yeah.
like different little things. But there'll be a cityscape behind us and maybe even a window.
Wow.
Yeah,
Buddy,
it's going to be
so
great.
cool. So cool. And is that
Thank you for the inspiration.
Is that happening behind you on its own, or is somebody pushing a button? It almost seems to come on like an applause sign.
I don't think it reacts. I've got a bunch of different settings. I have a remote control for the bridge, though. We can
for sure.
we can make it less busy if we want to.
And I think they're all beautiful. You got to play with it and find what's best. I think, lest anyone forget, or in case anyone from our show doesn't know this, that is an actual surviving bridge from the actual Late Show with David Letterman set. So no better person to have that over there than the Letterman podcast. Right?
The Verrazano Bridge, as you have let us know. Yeah, very, very happy about this.
I think, if anything, is it? Well, it doesn't matter, I guess. Did you look at it on? It's. I don't know whether I should say this or not. They painted it backwards. Are you aware of that? It's backwards on the. Or maybe, no, I'm right. Yeah, it's backward. It's turned around right now, isn't it? Are we looking at the back of it?
We have flipped it around a couple of times, and it seems to be the same either way. So we thought that this long section.
But perspective says it goes one way or the other based on the art that's drawn on it, right?
Yeah.
The big side is closed.
Yeah,
Whatever it is,
that
it
part
looks
I'm
great.
not-
I'm so excited just that you have it, and I know it's a work in progress. Did you also paint the wall? Is that like a dark blue? Is that like nighttime paint behind you too?
Letterman Blue is what we decided to paint the studio.
That's awesome. I'm sorry. I'm such a nerd about all this stuff. I'm so thrilled that somebody else is doing it. I was thrilled when Adam Ferrara built his studio in his house. I was thrilled when some other people have reached out recently. It's good. This is good.
Yeah,
There was
this is
a time
pretty
when I was
great.
the only lunatic. Now I'm just one of the lunatics. It's great.
Yeah. Thank you for the inspiration.
Oh, for sure. All right. Well, we're already chatting, so let's just chat away here. Will, take it away. See, this is what happens. It's one of those days. Did I mention I was at the auto show all day? All day. All day at the dentist. Yep. All right. Take it away, Will. Oh, where'd he go? Kevin, you gonna buy a Beamer? How's it going? Great. You too. Oh, good evening and welcome back, everybody, to the Cars and Comedy Show in the Late Night Playset. All of that will make sense in the new year, but I have to keep saying them together for a little while longer so that you remember both. That'll make more sense soon, too. Thanks for being with us. It's Thursday, November 17th, 2022. It's not a surprise that I'm a stir, but I'm a stir today because I've been at the auto show and talking to a lot of people, and the energy has been high. And it seems like you always have to go to the bathroom or are thirsty for a drink or whatever, but you're always talking to people, whatever. It's one of those things where it just wears you out. Also, no offense, I'm not used to walking much anymore. And you go to those convention halls and you're walking, I don't know, a lot. 20,000 steps, I don't know.
Yeah. Big space.
So, the LA Auto Show is where I was today, so let's be talking about that. But in the meantime, we already said hello to Canadian Mike, but here, this is what it looks like from me sitting down. Man, that's cool. Oh, there's the Sarah Palin. Was that there a minute ago? I was obsessed with the bridge. I don't think I saw it. Or did you just sneak it in?
No, I put it up there. I put it up there during the opening crawl.
I love it. She snuck in there. And it's easy for her because she just it's from Canada. You just come, from Alaska. You just come in the, right? Wasn't she the Alaskan?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see her from our house.
There's been so much in the world of politics since Sarah Palin. She almost seems like a Saturday Night Live character.
She does.
No offense to Sarah Palin.
She kind of went away.
Don't tell Sarah Palin. So the Peterson, oh, sorry. I wrote a last minute addition to the card there and I will tell you about it now. First of all, how's everybody? Let's do a check-in. What the frick is this camera now? How is everybody? How are you feeling? I haven't seen you at all today till right before the show. Usual.
Yeah.
Everybody asked about you today. Everybody I saw.
Hi to everyone, and I decided I don't want to answer that anymore because it's always bad. But if anyone wants to do physical therapy work, that's what I think will make me feel better.
Oh, okay. All right, well, let's talk to Kayla Marzo about that. All right, you got to just open your mouth and talk to me. I can facilitate so much for you if you would just talk to me.
I know, and I'm horrible at that. So I'm trying how I know how to do things.
All right. And Canadian Mike, we just heard about. He's doing great in his new studio up there, but I'm going to keep checking it in because the truth is I keep wanting to look at the details, so I find myself looking at different things. It's not that different yet. It's just in a different place, but I feel like it's the idea for how different it's going to be is clearly there, clearly exposed. Did you put up some sound editing too? Is that what that is on the on the?
Oh yeah,
shelf
the whole
there?
bottom wall of the entire room is sound deadening now. We're putting stuff up on the ceiling, and there's going to be some little spotlights up on the ceiling as well that'll help with things and technological things. And then behind the bridge, I think we're going to get a stainless steel cityscape that's going to go behind the bridge, and then a window in front of it, and then pictures are going to go up there. You know.
Yeah, but you see it in your head already, right? You
very much so.
Well,
very much
that's all
so.
it takes.
It's so exciting.
I'm thrilled for you. Somehow it makes me feel more normal. This is what it is. Okay, let's do the business first, and we'll get that out of the way, and that'll be the warm-up here, 15 minutes in. Go see our friend Adam Ferrara this week. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with me? I had some coffee and not enough water, maybe. Allow me to hydrate, excuse me. And as Dave used to say, but if you have a beverage at home, now would be the time. I don't feel any different, but we'll see. We'll see. Go see our friend Adam Ferrara if you are in the Tempe, Arizona area at the Tempe Improv this weekend. No, is it this weekend? Next weekend. Excuse me. Next weekend. It's Thanksgiving weekend, 11/25 through 11/27. I've gotten totally confused. Next week is Thanksgiving, correct? Yeah, that would otherwise. Yeah, it's not today, obviously. For fuck's sake, Jesus Christ! Oh, man, get your shit together. Some days we get rehearsals in. Some days not so much. You can tell which are which. But go see him at the Tempe Improv. Our friend Byron Bowers is back in town, and he's going to do this show soon. Our friend Magnus Walker, who I saw today at the auto show, has a wonderful exhibit at the Peterson that you should check out if you're in town and like cars. Porsche specifically, the Urban Outlaw 10 exhibition. Go get the vault ticket. You got to get the vault ticket if you want that, because it's down there with the good stuff. Like every car in the Peterson isn't amazing. I don't know what I meant by that. But it's now through January, so do that. Also, now would be a good time to talk about the Peterson. We're going to blend in with the here comes some. This is infotainment. There's a commercial, and here comes some information. It may or not be entertaining. The Peterson changes out some exhibits. Like some stuff's kind of always the same, and then some stuff, and they have the stuff in the vault, obviously. But then some things come to town. Like the Bond exhibit was there for 6 months or a year or whatever. That was amazing, and I didn't really know how they were going to top that. And I'm not going to say that this topped that, but what replaced it is a Tesla exhibit. There's a Tesla exhibit, which did not excite me at all. I wasn't planning on going to see it. I figured we'd see it at some point when we were at the museum for something else. But we got the invite from the press department, and I said, well, you know what? I got to go to the thing and get I'll be out there anyway. Let me go check it out. And our friend Alex, who helps put these things together, helps curate the whole whatever. He's very talented, and he never disappoints. So I don't know why I was poo-pooing it in my head, other than I guess Tesla as a brand. I just didn't. There's no attachment, so I didn't care when I saw it. This exhibit's pretty impressive. It's pretty cool. It's very science museum-y. It feels like that kind of thing.
I was going to ask you, but that's like, it's a Tesla exhibit, which doesn't inherently excite me either, but learning does.
Yeah.
So if that's what their goal is, great.
It's exactly where I went, too. I was like, I can see Teslas literally everywhere. Why would I want to go to a museum? I mean, they have some significant Teslas there, of course, which are interesting. But it's the crashed ones, or the one that's completely exploded in every direction. I called it Explodo Vision. It's like the car disassembled, but before you remember there was that human body exhibit, whatever it was called, that went around the country where they had human cadavers like sliced up this way and this way, so you could really see what the heck our little meat suits were actually made of. It was kind of like that, but for the car. You know, it's all just sort of, you see what everything is.
It's kind of cool to see what it's made of.
Yeah, and how few pieces there are. That was the other thing. I was like, ooh. I thought they probably were being, they had to edit because you can't put every single thing on there. I think they kind of did. There's just so fewer moving parts with an electric car. It's battery, motor, and whatever you want for comfort. You know, everybody else has the seats and the steering wheel and all that. They have the Cybertruck there. Woo-wee!
I saw a photo of that. Looks nuts.
I still say no. It'll never happen. They say, no, it's in production. I say, okay. I say it'll never happen. I've got too much experience with DeLoreans, and I checked, and that shit is stainless steel, and it's thick grade. And this was a prototype, so it doesn't mean the actual one would be that. But I confirmed with everybody, it is supposed to be stainless steel, right? The plan is stainless steel, because all of this is aluminum. Makes no sense on a truck. It would just
on a truck
break
it
in the
would
wind.
disintegrate.
But then you would never be able to drive that around. It would never pass any You're just driving razor blades around everywhere. The moment there's an incident, it's just a big, giant slice of razor blade. And I have the scars on my hands to prove it from building time machines. So whatever. But I highly recommend the exhibit. It's very cool. They've got the whole nervous system of a Tesla hanging from the ceiling, which is really neat. It doesn't sound like much, but it's all of the wires and lights and electronics without the car. And there's a lot. It's kind of like Terminator.
It's pretty cool.
And that's that. So then okay. So today to the LA Auto Show. No. We gotta hire our producer. I told you about the Born for Fast toy drive the other day. It's the last time I'll mention it, but it was great, and we love the Marconis and the Marconi Museum. And I'm talking about museums today, so big shout out to the Marconi Museum. If you want to see a great car collection by a great family, curated by a great family. And some really cool movie cars. They got the Batmobile there. They got a General Lee there. Original kit car from the original hero kit car from Knight Rider. Go check out the Marconi. Great stuff. And everything they do goes towards the Marconi Foundation for Kids. So it's like a win-win-win. You get to kind of do some cool stuff, and it's the money goes to good places. So.
That's all I can think. It's all good. And everyone loves that museum. They always talk about what's there.
I think it's the family, too. They just make you feel at home.
They do. And the stuff that's there, people are always surprised at also. Like, there's so much goodness.
It's a wide variety, too, because, like, they've got a lot of stuff that I'm not necessarily into, some of the older muscle car stuff. But, like, Adam Ferrara shows up, and that's where he goes. And then he and John Marconi, that's all they talk about. Like, oh, this one versus this one, and I switched this motor, but then it ruined it because the other one was bad. It's like us with Porsches. Got the shorthand. So, something for everybody. All right, that brings us to our friends at St. Clair Insurance. They say all which separates men and boys is the coverage for their toys. At this point, I don't think there's much that separates men and boys. I'm going to rethink this, because these days there's not that much. I mean, I'm technically a man, and I just look like a big old boy.
Everyone is owning who they are now. Like, no one's dyeing hair. They're going natural.
I like that.
So do
Because
I.
I'll never be the guy who, just for men, the day I show up at Breakfast Club with a brown beard again, oh my God. In fact, I never had a brown beard. It always came in red. So I never grew a beard. So once it started growing gray a little bit was when I started, like when it was salt and pepper, it was when I started growing a beard. And you know that to be true.
I do.
Looked like Cheeto Santino before he was famous, so it just wasn't cool. Licensed in most states, St. Clair Insurance. Shop's top provider, so you get the best coverage for your toys. Did I ask you what we were talking about tonight?
No,
That's right! Check out St. Clair Insurance by going to the www and dialing up coverageforyourtoys.com. Coverageforyourtoys.com.
Coverageforyourtoys.com.
Are these shows where I'm out of sorts better or worse? Does anyone know?
To me, they're better.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
When you're not as stable, sometimes it's funny. And selfishly, I feel better.
Oh, because somebody else is...
I'm wonky all the time, and I was telling a therapist today, I was like, I think it's obvious, and it's clearly not, because I know a lot of nice people. So that would call me out for being all wobbly. So when you're not as focused, I feel a little more at home.
I'm trying to be focused badly. I think whatever it is. Thanks. I'm glad you feel better. I did this. I already flipped the card and then I flipped it back. What's the matter with me? Series 1 Films. This episode has been brought to you in part by Series 1 Films. Series 1 Films is the complete resource to develop your brand identity and marketing using video, ads, and SEO to help your automotive business reach more customers. Send Series 1 Films a message today to find out more. It's not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing. Couldn't tell you. Do that on the www as well. You dial up series1films.com, series1films.com.
Series1films.com.
And as our friend up in Canada will show you, the denote, the one is indeed a number one. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm just going to look at your set a little bit more, buddy. Now I see a light in the corner, and I can't tell if that's just for now, over your left shoulder all the way. I see a cord hanging down. Yeah, all the way. Is that? I can't tell if that's something that's supposed to be something or if it's just poking in there for right now. Oh, yeah, okay, just the ghost.
It's my idea light.
Oh, yeah.
It just adds a little bit of warmth, I've been told.
I think you add all the warmth anybody needs, buddy. You're a warm guy.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
No, I mean that. Talked to somebody at the auto show today about that.
Well, that's fantastic. Oh, by the way, did you also hear something about my Bronco? Did someone tell you about my Bronco? Is my Bronco on the way?
Very happy you asked about that, Mike. I don't know about your in particular Bronco. Did we do all the commercials? Is that all the business? Now we can just do whatever the heck we want because then we got to get to Kat. Okay. That helps me. Check it off the list. Maybe I'll get back. I will tell you this. I didn't have time to load videos into the system, so if there's anything good, we'll watch them next week. They had so... It's hard to describe how much driving space is occupied inside this convention center. I feel like one building was almost all tracks. I feel like Victor undersold it. Or they were bigger in person than I thought they would be based on the little picture, something like that maybe.
Right.
A lot of ride and drive tracks. It seemed like one building was every SUV. Jeep had one. When I say ride and drive tracks, do people know what I mean? Like, obviously there's, you're going around, the cones, whatever. They actually had scenes in, like, whatever money that was not spent in the last few years over these auto shows in the marketing department, whatever, they went all out into theatrics and experiential. Everything had full. It was like walking into one of these studios. Everybody had this type of environment. So the Subarus were out in the desert with gigantic, when I say gigantic, 30, 40 feet tall wraparound lights, those big walls that can be anything, like the Today Show has. Everything I can't stand, those giant LED walls. But they create environments, and that's what you need for this type of thing. But they all had the theatrics and the fake rocks and the carpet made to look like outdoors, and it was just really, really nuts. These ride and drives had some shit that they would climb like a roller coaster all the way to the top of the rafters, not the bottom of the rafters, but the top of the fucking convention center. And you could ride in those Broncos, and they were not... Well, the Bronco might have been electrical, but some of these weren't even electric. I don't know how they were doing any of this.
It sounds...
Some of them were motors and had their gasoline engines on.
I mean, I'm sure it's fun, but it sounds like someone going to a roller coaster amusement park ride.
Yeah, it felt like that. It felt like years before regulations. It was like, oh, yeah, you can do whatever because nobody's gotten hurt yet, but they will.
Right.
It was crazy. Yet also very impressive and cool. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all these cars were computer controlled and like they can't screw up. Who knows? Till they want to kill the humans.
Just wait.
Anyway, pretty wild. But okay, what's going on? Is there anybody in the chat here, Mike? I haven't been looking because I forgot to join it. And then I don't know if anybody's here even. But beyond that, does anybody have any questions? If anybody is here, is there anything you want to know about that that you don't? You know what I'm trying to say? No, nobody. Do you have any questions about anything at the auto show? Yeah, that's what I should have asked. Oh, yeah, the thing is aimed at the TV. Yeah, that never really works so well. All right, well, that's what it is. I will tell you this. I went with Reggie and I was supposed to go with Reggie, and he ended up being a little bit later. So I ended up hanging out with Magnus the whole time, and Tony Rackley, and Joe Richardson. You know him, formerly of Ferrari. Tall, good-looking guy.
That guy.
Coiffed of good-looking hair. Just a genuinely nice guy who's too good-looking to be that nice, or vice versa. Really good dude. Anyway, the usual suspects. We all kind of somehow found each other, and then became a mob. We all ran into Justin Bell. It was hilarious. And we sort of all accosted. It was the gang coming to take over Justin Bell.
I love that.
Yeah, it was neat. It was just like a moving party, and we went from booth to booth. But man, some stuff's really cool. I don't know if it's done or not. The new Prius? What the hell, man? It's awesome. I know, that's ridiculous. Who ever would have thought that those words would be uttered? It's good looking anyway. Panel gaps, atrocious. Although I don't know if they're known for that or not. I feel like Toyota used to be great with that. If Prius has historically not been, or maybe this was a prototype.
What are panel gaps?
Right, good one. Like where all the doors and fenders, where all the different pieces of the car match together, they should, in an ideal world, from the factory, be all evenly gapped, so that the space between the hood and the fender, where you could pinch yourself if you shut the hood, like that little space. Theoretically, it should be even all the way down that line, and every line on the car. And if a car's been in an accident, sometimes they don't line up right. If it's been taken apart and put back together, sometimes they don't line up right. Some things are just not designed well or built well in the factory, and they don't really line up right. DeLoreans are ridiculous. They're all over the place. The original stainless steel DeLoreans, all over the place. I've worked on a lot of them, and no two are the same.
The DeLoreans must be hard because you can't fudge those easily.
You're so smart. You're 100% right. The outside, because it's so you're right. You can't hide anything because of the stainless steel. But all of that stainless steel is bolted onto a fiberglass tub. So this was John DeLorean's. It's funny that we're talking about this tonight because we'll bring in our guest in just one moment here, the daughter of. But the idea behind that was that this was a car that wasn't going to. It was supposed to withstand the test of time. Maybe not forever. I think 25 years was the goal. But back then, cars would rot out in only a couple years.
Right.
You know what I mean? So this was supposed to really be like. They always talk about the sneaker companies. You could build a shoe that wouldn't wear out, but they don't because you keep buying them. It was always that logic with Detroit.
Right.
And behind, in my opinion, one of the reasons why I do truly think John DeLorean was not framed. I don't think he was framed as well, but I think he was. I think he was taken down by the Big Three.
I have to agree. You've made
Big
good
Three / government.
logical points have become illuminated through conversation and the docs. Like, the pieces are all there for whatever you want to make as a viewer, but it's pretty logical, it seems.
Yeah.
That something's up.
The new, sorry to switch around, but the new Hyundai, I can't remember what it's called, but the incredible looking thing that everyone compares to the DeLorean, because it's sort of, we met the designer of it today. Super nice guy, super cool. But he admits that it's a direct ripoff, not a direct ripoff, a reimagination of a Giugiaro design. And that's the same guy who did DeLorean. So we're all connecting these dots because they're there.
Right.
Super cool. It was the star of the show. Magnus loved it. Joe loved it. Tony loved it. Everybody. It was all our pick. We all took a picture with the designer and the car because we thought it was amazing.
Cool.
We're standing around congratulating the guy. We're like, best in show. You got it. Best in show.
When things are good, they're good. It's like when you meet a person that you like and you can explain it. Manuel and I talked about Bradley that way. Like, sometimes you just know.
Manuel, Korea?
Yeah.
Ran into him too. He was all dressed up. Ran into everybody.
Hilarious.
It was media day. Sorry, the auto show isn't technically open today, although I'm pretty sure there was a lot of public there because it was. There couldn't be this many press and media. There would be more journalists than car readers, if that makes sense. But it was great, and we ran into everybody. Let's see what some of this stuff is. Baby Barf. It'll start soon. He's just doing his hair and makeup. Oh, must be me. Sorry about that. Jared Fadley. Bienvenue. I saw Vin Diesel at the LA Auto Show back in the Stone Ages. That's funny. Speaking of celebrity sightings, I forgot to mention this one yesterday. While I was driving around yesterday to the Peterson, I think, maybe, whatever. Driving around sometime yesterday, girl in traffic, and in LA, you're just sitting there. And I'm in the left lane, and so is the other person, and there's no divider. So I'm just looking at a girl in a car, and she's looking at me. Yellow BMW convertible 4 Series. Pretty girl, sunglasses. I totally know who this girl is. Can't tell if she knows that I know or not. You know, so it's just one of those things where she's not. It's like we've already done the thing, but now she's not. And she got the sunglasses, right? So she can totally do the. But I know the fucking game, and I know how that all works. So I know that she's probably. You want to know who it was?
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan.
She was just
unmistakable.
In the news.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, unmistakably Lindsay Lohan. Very funny.
Hello.
I know, it's funny. It's funny now because I realize she'd probably be, whatever, it doesn't matter. When we're in the yellow car, they're looking at the car. But I was in the green car, the Mini. I can't tell if people are looking at that. I don't know if that car's cool enough that people are checking it out or not, you know?
It is.
To me, it is. I agree with you 100%. But what about regular people?
Depends on what they're in. But I would say probably.
Oh, well, what if she's in old Beatles? Oh, Herbie Love.
Well, some people.
Well, thank God it wasn't painted up. Now maybe I'm happy I wasn't in the yellow car because I would have been. It would have been such an obvious kind of Herbie.
Yeah.
I forgot about her and Herbie. I don't make that connection usually. Let's see. Was the Cybertruck stainless the same or better than the DeLoreans? Well, here's the thing, DeLorean guy. This Cybertruck that I saw, was a prototype / it must be. I don't know that for a fact. They were still putting placards and stuff out at that point. By the way, when I say the one that looks like a DeLorean but isn't, I mean, I'm going to throw this up here for a second, Mike. I mean, that one. You guys know that one? Yeah. Looks like the old one a little bit. Shit, now what was I going here to look for? Do you remember?
No.
Yeah, crap. Well,
Kat just threw up her hands when she saw the picture of that.
No, I was throwing up my hands because I keep getting kicked off.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. You look amazing. Well, here, let's just bring you in, and then we'll do the rest of the chat with you in here. And if you have any questions about the auto show or DeLoreans, we'll just talk to you about them. What's up, everybody? We've got Kat DeLorean. Geez, what would your title be? Are you the CEO of DNG Motors?
I am the chief executive Kat.
Are you sure?
That's my official title. That's actually
Chief Executive
So
Kat?
So I let everybody choose their own names, and we all got to pick. But so I said, if you could pick a title for what you do, what would it be? And for me, I wanted to be the chief executive collaborator or facilitator. Facilitator sounded like I was working in some logistics company. So everybody described me as just being Kat, and that's how I do what I do, is by being Kat. So I'm the chief executive Kat.
That's hilarious to me. I'm just going to the, she's the CEK. And people are like, the what? What the hell is a CEK? Like, well, you'd kind of have to know her. Well, hi. How are you? Are you really dressed as a unicorn? You are.
I am. I'm dressed as a unicorn. I warned you. I told you I was going to come dressed as a unicorn, so I did.
I think it's hilarious. I haven't told even Nicole this yet, but I mean, it's a little bit weird for me. I ran into somebody interesting today.
Oh, we're going to go there. Okay.
I don't know. Are we? I feel like I have to.
You can tell it's been a day for me, so I'm here to have fun, and you can go wherever you want, my friend.
Well, no, I don't want to drag you any place, but I mean, we have to talk about your car a little bit. And then in talking about your car, it's hard not to bring DeLorean Motor Company into the mix. And then it's hard for me to go to the LA Auto Show and not run into somebody from the DeLorean Motor Company, namely Cameron Wynn. Totally ran into Cameron Wynn today.
my.
And I mean, quite frankly, the family's always been very nice to me. I think that's a nice family. I think they're good people. So it was nice to see him and connect on that level. But the rest of it, I didn't know how to feel. And, we kind of said that. I was like, I've got all of this in both ears. So, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but also like, and I think he understood that. But it was interesting and weird. What's your deal there? How do you feel about that? What would it have been for you if you ran into him?
Gee, I don't know. That's I would have said hi.
Yeah, that's where we started.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not rude to anybody, and it's not like he did this. So it's just an awkward situation that we're all in, and it sucks that you're in the middle of it. I don't want anybody in the middle of it. It seems that people are being stuck in the middle of it. There's this whole Facebook Team Kat, Team DMC, and I'm like,
is that
can't
true?
we just all love DeLoreans? Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't know anything about it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's Facebook groups that won't post my car, but will only post the Alpha, even though they're DMC groups, because they have accused me of only making my car for the purpose of harming them, which is completely untrue. And then there's all kinds of drama. There's just all kinds of weird drama happening. And I just said, look, I don't want special treatment. I don't want anybody to fight over me. It doesn't matter what other people are doing. Just have fun and love DeLoreans. And if nobody wants to post my car, that's fine. Don't fight over me. That is not why I'm here.
No, but I think some of the headlines sort of put, we got a bake-off. It was sort of positioned that, the DeLoreans are going head-to-head DeLorean build-off, everybody, that kind of thing. And while it may sort of be occurring that way, I don't think that was ever Kat's intention, and she's said that. And I don't know what their intentions are. It's just, it's very... Thank you for recognizing that some people are in the middle, because I don't have a problem with the family, but I don't like what they're doing. And here's one thing I'll give you an example of. Because I was with Magnus and I was with all those people I mentioned, I was doing some introductions and having to explain exactly who Cameron is made him then sort of have to do a little bit of that, which was interesting because I could then hear how they are positioning themselves these days. Right. I could hear what the traditional auto show meet and greet, trade show handshake spiel is for DeLorean. So when Tony, my friend Tony, who's also British, because the Winds are, he said, I said, this is Cameron Wynn from DeLorean Motor Company. He goes, the old one or the new one? And very firmly, quickly, with the handshake, both. The old one and the new one. Actually, we bought the IP and we're the ones doing the new one. It was like, it was fired off, ready to go, as if he were the PR person. And I was like, well, I mean, they're in this deep enough that he sort of has to be media trained, but I didn't care for both. We're the old one and the new one. That's a ridiculous thing to say. That's a ridiculous thing to say. So anyway, I did invite him on the show because I want to see what happens in the same way that I wanted, like we eventually had Leno on the show, and that was, interesting. I would like to, I don't think he'll ever do it in a million years, but I extended the invite because I would like to see what they have to say here to my face on behalf of everybody. But like, I'm just curious.
Me too.
They know.
A point of contention?
It's like lying to your parents. Like, you can't,
I feel like everything's out there, so picking your angle is important now.
And I told him, too. I was like, I don't give a shit about any of this when it comes to the car. And he's like, no, of course not. He's like, it's totally fine. I mean, we were talking about, I asked him about his family. He's a dad now. He's a father of 2. We talked about that stuff. I go, that's what's important. He's like, absolutely. But meanwhile, you still have to run your shit clean. And that's my position. Oh, unicorn head.
I was having fun hoping Mike was watching me be goofy.
Yes.
I
Kat's
do have
making
a
me crack
correction.
up here. She has an audience of one on the side here.
Keep
By
it
the way,
going.
Mr. Zero New just said bought the IP, liar, and put up a link to which something I can't click to on here, but there's a link saying, contending.
I
Yes.
can't.
That's my point of contention as well. The IP was never purchased. Nobody purchased the IP. That is a lie. That is untrue. And that is part of what I don't want being told. I don't want the lies that they are my father's company, that they are in any way associated with my father's company, or that they purchased the IP. They did not. Purchasing the IP comes with permissions that involve restrictions on things like trying to tie yourself to the original. There was no legitimate purchase of any IP. They were sued for using it without permission. And then there was a settlement done by Sally in which all of the rights to ever sue DeLorean were, for anybody even remotely related to the family, were signed away on her behalf without telling anybody. So no IP was purchased, and I am allowed to use my own name. That's the way it goes. So I wanted to make a car. I wasn't here to shut anybody down. I just wanted to define my father because people thought that this company was related to us and associated with us, and it was coming back at me. And I just want my car to represent my dad. They can go ahead and build their car. I embraced the build off so that we could both have some fun building some cars. Apparently that wasn't so embraced by everybody, but that's okay.
Really? Is there some history there? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, you do know things that I can't talk about.
Oh yeah,
those
yeah, yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
things.
Sorry. Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that.
okay.
And by the way,
So-
that was tough today to have that conversation as well, knowing those things and keeping my mouth shut.
for your audience, there are some things going on in the background that are pretty egregious and difficult, and I'm not sharing them with the public because they don't serve my father's story. They don't serve this story. They're not positive. They're not good. They don't reflect poorly on me. They do reflect poorly, I believe, and others do believe, on the other company. And I don't wish to partake in that. I'm not here to talk bad about them or to smear anybody. I'm here to make a car that represents my dad, that celebrates my dad, that celebrates the fans that kept his dream alive, and to celebrate a really cool education program that everybody's getting excited about. And whatever happens with the drama with that, I liken growing up DeLorean to being the boy named Sue. And I said to Jason the other day, I mean, all of the stuff that you and I talked about, it came to me right the day before my birthday. And
Oh
for
yeah,
the past
happy
3 years,
birthday, by the way.
yeah.
What a week
So
I'm having.
I know, it's been, I'm like, just this day. Like, can we just not this day? But this day actually ended up going very well by the end of it. But, and now you distracted me with the F my life.
Sorry about that.
Spiel. That's okay.
So stuff happened behind the scenes. We don't need to get into it. In fact, you don't want
Yeah,
to.
no. And I said to Jason, the past 3 years we've been here, that the jerk in my basement has ruined my birthday because he knew it was my birthday.
At the mill, the other place.
The other guy, the other person making my life difficult. So I said to Jason, I said, I'm never going to have a good birthday again for the rest of my life. Somebody who wants to hurt me is going to ruin my birthday forever until the end of time. So we're going to move it from now on. It's going to be on the weekend after my birthday. We're just going to go ahead. Now everybody hopefully will ruin that day.
That's what Jesus did. Yeah, you're in good company.
Just move it. Yeah. And I said to him, I had a really interesting realization. In my life, things have been more difficult for me in every way because I've been a DeLorean. So trying to establish myself in technology in a normal corporate job as a DeLorean, I was treated differently. People were angry at me for growing up rich. So it was easier for me to change my name and become Catherine Seymour. Then in cybersecurity, being a DeLorean was a huge problem because my entire history is online. So it was a liability there. But then you have the other things. My father died and all of this happened, right? Like all of this crazy stuff.
2005, right?
Yeah. And then you have the aftermath of me just wanting to connect with the fans and do something fun, and then it turns into this. And I said to him, I said, my life is harder because I was born somebody. I've lived this life where I've had ethics above and beyond and tried to be kind. I've lived a good life. I've been a good person, and it doesn't matter. None of that matters. I have people suing me left and right for all different things. And, you know, I mean, my goodness, he's the one who created the stupid lease. He's suing me for not wanting to follow the lease he created. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. So I said, I don't know if that's what discrimination feels like, but my life is harder for something I can't control that I didn't do. I am being punished for things that I didn't do. And it feels so unfair that I can't just enjoy things because I'm a DeLorean. And it made me very sad for everybody who has to face life with real problems related to it. I mean, my problems are real problems to me, but in reality, I'm not hungry. I'm not stuck in a cycle of unable to pay my bills because I got one parking ticket type things, the discrimination that we have in this country that impacts people's lives so drastically. I felt a moment where, as a person who came from extreme privilege, I could empathize with the situation, that what it meant to have things be more difficult for something that was out of your control. So in that, I was able to embrace what's happening and say, this gives me perspective I wouldn't have been able to have. This gives me an opportunity to connect with the people I want to reach. I want to help with my car. And it gave me a way to really put a silver lining on this whole experience, right? In a weird way.
I hope so. Is that why they're a unicorn? You get a silver lining, you're on a silver cloud, silver unicorn out there.
I'm wearing the unicorn because I just had a crap day. And I wanted to have fun.
This is the way you attack a crap day? I salute you, madam. That's awesome.
Yes. Come on. Like, why? It was just, you know, everything was going wrong. Everything was going wrong. And I said, I'm going to wear a unicorn because that's what's going to make me feel better. Being ridiculous on TV is yay.
Amen. I love it.
So, do you want to hear about the car?
Yes, badly, especially because you have things you can tell us, right? This isn't just more chat. Lay it on us.
Sort of.
Whatever you want to talk about.
Sort of. So I've been teasing a lot about these cars and what we have. Everybody's been asking about our powertrain. Everybody's been asking about what we're doing. And the truth is, I do have 3 powertrains. The reality is, no, I'm not going to produce the car with 3 powertrains.
I told Magnus this today because he asked the same question, and his eyebrows went up like crazy. And I was like, no, just during prototype phasing. But they're literally checking them all. Yeah.
Yes. So what we're trying to do is we're working to look at the cost of manufacturing each, the feasibility of owning it, maintaining it, what it means to have these different powertrains in the car for each of the owners. And what is it about each of these that people like? So what is it about an electric powertrain that people enjoy and they want to own it? Part of it is the immediate power delivery. And the other part of it is the fuel economy. So, which is, you know, with electric. But do people consider things like here in New Hampshire or New England overall, electricity is ridiculously expensive. And so are you saving a whole lot of money with the price of gas now? Yes. But are people really thinking about this? So weighing not just what people like about it, but the reality of what it is that people like about it. And we want to study it. We want to understand it. In the meantime, we are working on an actual tribute car that fully encompasses my father's whole story.
What?
So, yeah, this one special edition JZD that we're working on that has the 1018 horsepower internal combustion engine is actually being created as a special tribute to my dad. The person working on it is just brilliant when it comes to the engine work. And he's creating a tribute to Smokey and to my father. And he wanted to create something that honors their partnership and is sort of a souped up internal combustion engine. We toyed with telling.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. No, you talk.
No, this sounds like the kind of. It sounds like the kind of car your dad would have built, because this is his move, right?
Yes.
You just shoehorn the biggest engine possible into the little thing and then see how it goes.
So there's a tie, a very specific tie to his history at GM that comes with the design of this engine and some of the components that we're putting into it. And we were going to tell you some of the super secret sauce tonight about it, but some of the minutia has not quite been solidified yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really keen on not saying things that we're not sure of. So that doesn't change the engine that we're using. So that didn't make sense. There's a few things about it that when we tell you what we're using, I want to share with you, and they have not been finalized. So let's film that thing. Yes. So, okay, that's a great thing to bring up. We actually are working with a documentarian to get it filmed, the build of the car, and we're going to do it with Kevin and Ian, which is cool. So Kevin is my son, and he's going to join us with the build of the car.
No way, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
my
so
voice went up.
cool.
I'm happy for you personally. It's nice to have your own family involved because, again, DeLorean Next Generation. Everyone see the through line here?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Oh, my camera's doing funny things. Sorry about that.
Must be
And
the
then,
glitter.
yes, I have. You noticed my glitter? Yay!
You are. I love that you posted the photo of you from the modeling days the other day. I had to repost it because it's you don't talk about those days very often, and you don't share that side of you very often. So I thought it was cool. It must have been outside your comfort zone a little. So, cheers.
Jason's actually really still upset with me about that too. Neither one of us actually like sharing that much of my life. That particular picture is one of my favorite. It came out really well, and the fact that I was pregnant with Kevin and I knew that was going to be one of my last photo shoots was really special to me. But it's not who I am anymore. And he said, it seems like you're trying to sell yourself, and that's not who you are. But it was kind of a post that speaks to who I was and how much my life has changed over the years. I've switched careers multiple times, and I'm a better person for it, I believe. I have such great experience across so many different fields. The modeling job made this a lot easier because it was all about networking with people and raising money for things. So it fits very well with building a car company, right?
You're saying this is going to cost money? I didn't know there was bread involved.
What's really great about what we've been doing is it's not a traditional company and it's not a traditional business model. And it involves a lot of partnerships, strategic partnerships. So we currently have a partnership with a very large cybersecurity firm. I meant to ask him, honestly, this is one of those things that at this moment right now, I'm realizing I forgot to email Dave and ask him if I could share the name of his company on your show. And I was supposed to. So that's just my day.
Hilarious. Well, hey, thanks for the exclusive. And sorry to, what, Dave? Sorry, Dave.
So Dave owns a DeLorean and also one of the largest cybersecurity firms in the world. It's great. They worked with us a lot. He's one of my heroes, and to be able to arrive and work with him, somebody who I looked up to, and I based my career on his just the way he did things. He likes hugs. He's all about collaboration, and so he's always been somebody that's been, my cybersecurity hero. And to be able to go to him and say, "Hey, can we partner on this?" that's just amazing. So we're going to work together. He's building out Cybersecurity Academy, and I really wanted to have that as part of my STEM. So I'm going to work with him to leverage what he's doing. And of course, we'll tell you who he is when I ask his permission. But also I want to
I
develop...
thought you accidentally slipped it out there. You didn't slip it out?
No.
Okay.
There's a lot of Dave. Like, Dave is I'm sure he won't mind me calling him Dave. But I want them to actually, they're a large consulting firm, and so I want to work with him to create an automotive testing arm of that firm as well, so that we can be leveraged to actually, I would love to create a research and development hub for the automotive industry to be able to leverage us for the not sexy things, for the safety. I would like to study a seatbelt that will not injure women's internal organs when we get in an accident, because the seatbelt hasn't been re-engineered in forever, right? So I want to study EV vehicle fires and how we make that. Maybe we can't get rid of what happens with the death napalm of the battery, but perhaps we can work to create safer escape routes. So I'm working with somebody who did that for BMW cars. Well, yeah. It's you burn to death with the battery fire.
I know. I've just never heard the comparison made before. That's awful. Ugh. And we're all making jokes too, and it's so terrible. Zach Clapman, who was here the other day, made the joke. I did the picture of that Explodo Tesla that we talked about, and his joke was, "Is that a Tesla in the middle of an accident?" And my response to that was, "Must not be. No fire." So
yeah.
What you're saying is exactly right. But I have never heard of it referred that way. And you're right, because the firefighters can't put it out, which is like napalm. You can't extinguish the flame. Oh, God.
Yeah.
That alone makes me think
to me is
that batteries won't take off.
That's my seatbelt. Well, consider this. I have a Samsung phone. I guess I shouldn't say that, because it's not a knock at Samsung. But before they fixed the problem with the batteries, we used to test technology before it was widely adopted, and the new Samsung phones had the battery problem where they exploded.
Yeah.
It caught on fire. There goes my
good reflexes.
It's the day, Jay. Oh my gosh, my day. So cell phones, and they're tiny little batteries.
You're hilarious.
I think a battery just exploded over there.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. So where was I? Oh yeah, cell phones. Cell phones and their tiny little batteries, they catch on fire, right? That's what's in the car.
Yeah,
so
I didn't
your car
realize
can also
that.
randomly explode in your garage. Which
I didn't realize that.
Can
the
happen.
same stuff that you can't take on a plane is the same stuff that's in the car battery. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Lithium ion, is that what it is?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
A giant
That's made of
rough. Yeah. And this is concerning to me because death napalm in your house is also very scary. So, I'm actually working.
But you can chuck your computer out the window or something, or your phone or whatever. You chuck it in the sink, cover it in a blanket. This is manageable. A 5,000-pound thing in your garage that's going to ignite the whole house. That's a different story.
Well, you also have to install
look at this.
the charging station.
We're turning into anti-electric car people. It sounds like a disaster.
It doesn't have to. No, it doesn't have to be anti-electric car, right? So there are ways to manage this. So what if you could mitigate the spread of the death napalm and contain it in something, right?
There it is. You know what?
So
That's what we do with fuel, right? They eventually figured you need a rubber bladder in there.
But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean no to electric cars. It just means no death napalm.
Yeah.
It means
Maybe we put the
finding
batteries in one of
alternative
those
ways.
Nomex driving suits. Not the suit, but whatever. You wrap the battery in
This
something
is-
that you're right. These are
Sounds
interesting
like
things.
a good time for innovation.
Yeah.
Necessity is the
Yes.
parent of innovation.
Yes.
Whatever that.
No, you did it
saying
right.
is.
You did it right.
But it's not sexy and it's not profitable, because anybody who studies that and solves that isn't gonna. I mean, their tech is gonna be shared with everybody else. So because it's gonna be necessary too. So I'm saying, hey, pool your money with my students. Let my students study the things important to my dad, like safety and the things that aren't going to make you a whole lot of money. And then the tech becomes available to the whole automotive industry at once, and nobody has to focus their efforts on it for no profit. So hopefully this all works out. The business model is great because everybody loves it, I guess. That's everybody we've gone to gets super excited about being part of it, and they just want to be part of the effort. So somebody asked me, how are you just getting started? You already have stats for an engine. And I said, I can't stop these people. Everybody is just going. And
That's what something
go
came
ahead.
up similar to that. Six months ago, this was not a joke, but it was like like this will be a fun thing to do as a mark on my timeline of my life story or whatever. In the last 6 months, this has shifted from, that sort of thing to a very, very real project. And I was having to explain that several times over and over today, that this is not a build a kit car in your basement or garage type of thing. This is a legitimate thing with very real people in the automotive and digital space.
It's moved
that she
along
knows.
so rapidly. It's like when we met Michael the day he moved here, and then had
The motoring club.
then had the motor club. That was just an
It's
idea.
It's exactly that, and he said the same thing that she did. All he did was go around going, "Look, I got this idea. It came to me. We're all behind it." And everybody is like, "Wait, that makes sense. You're the person to do it. You're a great salesman. First, let's just yes."
yeah.
Is that what's
Yeah,
happening
that's
with
pretty
you?
much. Well, it's a little bit more than that, because literally everybody has come to me and said, I love your dad. So,
Whoa.
yeah. So I have, after the press release, for about 2 or 3 weeks, it was 15 to 20 messages a day coming in on social media of people telling me how they do what they do because they love my dad, the stories I was looking for. Only these people were captains of industry, multiple CEOs of aerospace industry, multiple big people at major automotive manufacturers, people who are automotive designers, engineers, owners of companies. One guy was a CEO of an aerospace industry, and he said, my father was so kind and gracious to him when he pumped his gas as a teenager that if I needed anything, just let him know.
Holy crap.
And the way I describe it to people is, it's 80 years of living on this planet, interacting with people coming back at me right now. Whereas growing up DeLorean was like being the boy named Sue. I now really understand what the impact was my father had on this world. Kids in countries I barely know of are contacting me and telling me that they do what they do because of my father. I was laying in bed one night talking to Jason, and I glanced over at the painting on my wall, and we were in the middle of a conversation. I just broke down crying, and I said, how do you accept that he was that big? He never prepared me for this. He told me all these stories growing up, and I just learned he left out the part where he changed the world. He told me all the time about how seatbelts were his thing, how he hated how long they waited. He was so passionate about seatbelts. He didn't tell me the part where he testified before Congress making them mandatory on every car today. He left out the part where he changed the world. Told me the part where a lady's transmission slipped and she died going off a causeway, and he never wanted that to happen again. He left out the part where that resulted in a re-engineering of what is now the modern automatic transmission. Every automatic transmission today is the way that it is because of my father. He left out the part where he changed the world. So to be showered outside of the DeLorean community in this way, in such a huge way, with people saying, whatever you need, just ask. And then people doing things without being paid, without having to be asked, things just getting done because they say, we just love your father. We just want to do this for your dad. We just want to say thank you. We love what you're doing, has been overwhelming. It doesn't matter how bad any day I have now is. It's made up for at some point by one person who will reach out to me and tell me what my father meant to them. After so many years of hearing all the bad and thinking that the world at large thought of him the way that he's being portrayed in some of those press releases that are trying to erase him from his own history and make him a failed businessman who got caught with cocaine and was acquitted, when in fact, he was so successful that they shut him down. They couldn't even just stop him. They had to set him up. That was the only way to make him go down and stop doing what he was doing, because they tried to get him to go away at GM, and he ended up going to become a consultant, contacting the insurance companies and saying, hey, I'll testify before Congress and make seatbelts mandatory. When Jason told me he did that, he said, yeah, he was hired by the insurance company. I said, no, he wasn't. He went to the insurance company. That was his revenge. The way he talked to me about the seatbelts, for sure, that was his revenge.
If you can't beat him, join him, right? Go to the other side. Get them on your side.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
But he just wanted to save lives. That was what was important to him. Everything to him was about people. He wasn't the monster that stupid documentary made him out to be, or any of the stupid documentaries have made him out to be. And I've come to realize just how fragile of a human he was. I've come to understand a lot of the mistakes he made and things that he did. I believe he was autistic.
Oh, I think he was on the spectrum for sure. Read a book about him. Yeah. My goodness gracious.
He's, and I think that's what impacted his ability to read people. I too need to have people around me to sniff the bad guys, because you see the world in very simplistic terms. Everything is black and white, and you understand that there's a gray, but you don't understand why that gray is, because it just makes things harder. Why have it? So to learn to operate outside of your comfort zone in the illogical world, especially knowing what business was like back then and how successful he was, I believe that's why he came off a lot of the way that he did, and why people took such advantage of him, because he was easy to take advantage of. This hasn't been just building a car. It really has been finding my father in ways I didn't ever anticipate, and learning how much like him I am, and coming to terms with the fact that he changed the world in ways that I didn't fully grasp until now. How you know me? How do I accept that he was this man? How do I process that he was as huge as he was?
It's funny to me that you're coming to this now, because I think the rest of the world would already have seen this. But it's very natural for you to just be coming to it now. I don't know, but it's very natural for you to not see it for a long time, and then with your own young your own young life, and then I think of you as a young mother. You had your own shit to deal with. Like you had to do your own work. You had to do your own mental blah 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 to get to a place where I think now you're sort of realizing the gravity of the situation of who the rest of us have known who you were your whole life. All right, we people don't know this, but we exchange some sort of something every single day, usually multiple times a day. It's funny. I don't want to give too much stuff away. We talk about a lot of stuff. I say constantly, I feel like you were built for what you're doing today and that you just had to live all of that life so that you were prepared to take it on now. And I mean that so firmly. And I don't know if that's your dad telling me that because I sort of believe in that stuff too, or if that's just what I've observed of you and I'm just doing the playback for you of what I see. There's something bigger going on here, and I just feel like you've always been part of it, and only now are you realizing
it. You are not the first, second, or 50th person to say that during this. Honestly.
Like if this were a movie, you'd pull the medallion out and you'd be like, oh, look at that, I am a princess. Who knew? It's right here.
That's kind of what's happening. That is exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
But it's like even my boss, not the one I retired for, his senior level manager, because you'll understand this, I said, tell Mike I said thanks from Kate. And so I was telling Jameson, who was both of our boss, and he said, as much as I miss having you around, it's so good to see you doing what you were always meant to do. And coming from him, that was something to me. Because, he was somebody who helped me achieve my dream job of becoming a hacker. And he watched me grow into this technologist. And yet he still felt that I was destined. And I mean, arguably being a hacker, a red teamer at a major financial institution's a pretty stellar job. And he still thought I was destined for more.
Do people know Oh, sorry. No, basically, I don't know if people know what a red team is, but it's a specialized. You're there to pick it apart. You're there to find the flaws.
Yeah. So you have pen testers who are there who just test the technology, and then the red team is the team that comes in and pretends. So the red team will emulate what are called advanced persistent threats. So really bad guys, either nation states or like organized crime groups that have certain tactics and techniques. And then we copy those tactics and techniques and test our security against them. I started off doing a lot of the black box testing, but we did the white box testing later because then I got to test new technology. So there was a little less stealthy stuff, but we still got to do the really top level hacking, and we got to test things like phones that hadn't come out yet and all kinds of brand new tech, which was really cool.
One of my all-time favorite.
It was the best job.
One of my all-time favorite movies is Sneakers, that movie from the 90s with everybody's in it, but River Phoenix too. And I just always equated that job to like what those guys did in that movie. It's almost like you get paid to fake break into people's systems almost. Yep. Not even almost. That's what you did, yes. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
What's
I've
funny,
seen movies with that theme, and it's like blows up.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So over my head.
It's awesome.
So the movies cause us a problem. First of all, let me say this. Sneakers was actually filmed in the countrywide location where I first worked. So my first job was filmed in the building where Sneakers was. Yeah.
That mirrored building? Or which building?
Yeah, I don't know. They filmed inside scenes inside one of the buildings in Simi Valley. I don't know what scene it was, but I was told.
Oh, you were in Simi Valley?
Yeah.
That's definitely where that mirrored building was. The toy building where the guy works.
Oh. Yeah.
Is my passport verified? Sorry. I love that movie.
So yeah. But those movies are a problem for us because everybody thinks hackers are magic, and they think we can just magically sit down and hack anything. And when I explain it to people, yeah, when I explain to people who want to get into this job, I'm like, forgive yourself. A pen tester needs to know every piece of technology that's ever existed since the beginning of time and will exist until the end of time, as well as every single configuration, combination, and vulnerability existence in it. Our team hacked everything from cell phones to airplanes and everything in between, ATMs, servers, everything. You touch everything to make sure nobody can touch it, break it. And so how am I going to know that without Google? Seriously. I am not magic. I am not swordfish. We have to Google everything. We have to rely on each other and pick stuff apart. Hackers are not magic. We cannot just do things. We have to research.
In that movie Swordfish, that guy, whatever, I'm not going to say. He
that
hacks
is
some
so
shit in like
not
20
real.
seconds while getting a blowjob. Just saying. Just saying.
It's
just saying.
Not even. It's not even real. So, anyway, back to my car. The whole thing with the car. We're supposed to be talking about it. I should tell people something.
You showed up in a unicorn
We have
suit.
some
At
really
what point were
cool
we supposed to take you
partnerships.
seriously?
We're partnering with a VR company to work on a virtual reality manufacturing lab for the students, and possibly studying some other ways to test out some of our technology. And we also have a partnership with an engineering company in Detroit that offers, we're working on that now, that offers the type of engineering services I want to help provide to these smaller shops, which is a consulting service to help them cut costs through efficiency. They're very excited about the education program because manufacturing engineering is not something that people go into. So it's very hard for them to find employees. And we're going to be able to create a pathway into this job that isn't a negative return on investment because schooling has gotten so expensive. So we've built this, I call it the supercar built by love, because so many people just want to be, I mean, it's corny, but it's so true. Everybody just wants to be part of it. They just want to be part of my father's legacy and taking it back. And they want to be part of doing this great thing for people. When I tell people what I want to do, their whole this team we talked to, they called it contagious. They said what we're doing is so wonderful, it's contagious. And that's what I want to hear. I want people to be infected with hope and joy and want to work together to do something really cool for the future. So we have 3 powertrains that we're testing against each other. And no, I'm not actually going to be building all 3 powertrains myself. We are going to find what is what John would do. And we're also exploring multiple options for how we can offer the car. So we're looking at ways that we can create the car cost effective for everybody and what we would have to do to create a fun to drive, cost effective sports car, the ethical sports car my dad wanted. And we're also creating a supercar, something that is fun, lightweight, really fun to drive, really fast, and super exciting. And then can we create something where we can hand build these and offer both options? The whole thing is geared around funding and supporting the education system, which creates a unique opportunity to do things very, very, very differently. And it's opened up doors to be able to build a car and a company in ways that have never been done before. I keep waiting for somebody to tell me no. And the only words I've gotten are ambitious a lot of times and one audacious, but not a no. So it's
sometimes
this
the
is
crazier
incredible.
the
It really is.
more firm
It's
the yes,
really
depending
incredible.
on the person.
And
Yep.
I'm very excited. My favorite part, though, has been all of the people that I get to meet and work with. I have these people that I'm working with that are so smart and incredible. The experience of being able to learn from them and work with them and hear about how cars are made and manufacturing issues. It's fascinating and amazing and eye-opening. You really understand what goes into trying to manage the build of any car. So that's been my favorite part, of course. It's been the whole experience. And then we're gonna have a really cool car when it's done.
Is there any at
go
any
travel
point have
around
you
it.
realized that you're?
Oh, if anybody knows how to build
I don't think
me
she can hear me.
a gull wing Airstream, that's my next project. I want to know what it looks like.
I feel like that's doable.
Say hello.
I feel like that's very
No?
doable.
I can't hear you. Where'd you go?
Yeah, I
Why
had a
can't
feeling
I
she
hear?
couldn't hear
Why
us
is
for a
this
while.
happening again?
We don't know.
No. What did you do? Why is this happening to me again, Jay? Don't laugh at me. That's not fair.
But everything's fine, so it's got to be her headset, right? She's got like a wireless headset or something. Change your batteries.
Why did this happen? Yeah, I'm putting you on speaker.
Put me on speaker.
Okay. Can you
You got
hear
another
yourself?
call? Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you, kind of.
Oh my God, we should. You can hear us or you can't?
Yeah, no, I can. What happened? That was so embarrassing.
Yeah, we couldn't hear any. Can you start from the beginning? We couldn't hear what you were saying that whole time.
You're a liar. I know my microphone works.
You
It's just
sounded
my headset
great.
Goes out.
You sounded great. I think I talked over you a couple times. Sorry about that. Is that at any point have you realized that you are following in your father's footsteps? Is that real? I mean, there's like a moment that's very real that was totally unintentional, and if you went for it, it wouldn't have worked. But because it sort of just happened, it's got the universe's energy behind it.
Yeah, it is. I am following in his footsteps to a T, in a very frightening way, right to the age of like
age.
when I'm doing things. Yeah, starting a consultancy, like all of these things. But then there's the weird stuff like the timeline matching to the day. The fact that his business plan says we should be touring facilities on October 23rd, and then on October 24th we did that. And I didn't even find out that was a thing until October 27th when I looked at the paper and freaked out. So for your fans.
People have no idea what you're talking about, but you have some old files and whatever, and your dad's last business plan, obviously the year is different, but not only is the structure broken down the same, but the dates even line up for that particular year and the year that she's doing it.
That's interesting to take note of.
It's terrifying. We started a joke that my father must be a time traveler because it's so on the nose. It was like, wow.
I think he's just with
but
you. I think he's with you now in the
Yeah.
same way that I believe mine is with me. I mean, different, obviously, but I really do believe it. I think that's where, you're stepping up to do all this stuff, but I swear it, like you say, it is coming to you. I swear it's coming to you from somewhere. And call it God, call it the universe, call it your dad, because when you die, you go back into the mix, theoretically, right?
I've read that. Yeah, energy, you can't destroy it, so it's always around. Which is fascinating if you're heading and explore that.
No, I believe he's in the light and that he's guiding a lot of us. You can't explain the way that this has panned out otherwise. You just can't. As the people we need are needed, they show up. And not only that, but they're all like really good people are showing up. And there's been bad ones. I mean, there's definitely been some bad. We had an interesting one recently. And then there's the other side of it. I am getting people hitting me up every single day trying to social engineer me. And it gets exhausting, right? But it's the reality that people don't know about doing this. So somebody said to me, another person who was in the middle of their funding phase said, "You wouldn't believe the things that I've seen." I said, "I would, because that was my job for 10 years. You wouldn't believe some of the things I've seen. Like, I mean, but we take for granted that that's the world that people, you're not just trying to fund your company. You're not just trying to build a car. You're not just trying to help people. You're also trying to fight off all the evil that's coming after you. The brighter you shine, the more the flies will come and the vultures. And I just think the universe, God, my father, Mother Nature, everybody, not necessarily in that order, for the experiences that I had leading up to this, for that life that I had leading up to this, that let me learn the lessons that I need, the trials and tribulations, the guy in the basement giving me the test of time to be able to give me the strength of will to be able to stand up and do this.
Will and stamina. You went the distance with that fella.
Well, that's still going. So that's actually going to court in April. So whatever that is, I'm not worried about it anymore, though, right?
The new batteries will be part of the superstructure, each cell isolated. I see. Okay. And
there's
Tesla's new battery pack. Now somebody here has a message for you. Saying, William Miller says, "Hello, Kat. You're awesome. Keep the faith of the heart. A DeLorean should be built by a DeLorean. God bless you, Kat." Lots of exclamations that you can't even see there. There's way more in here.
I love Bill so much.
Oh, good.
There's a lot of battery tech that's being studied now too. So there's the sodium ion batteries, which I'm really excited about because I've always been fascinated by the fact that your brain is basically a sodium potassium pump that generates energy. So your brain is a power plant that generates its own electricity by passing sodium and potassium across a membrane. That's freaking, why are we not using this to make electricity?
It's science. But yeah.
I know. And then glass batteries are being studied as well. So there's definitely hope for the EV. Please don't anybody leave this saying, Kat said EVs are not the way of the... No, I'm not poo-pooing EVs. Just death napalm. Let's just solve the death napalm. That's it. That's all I care about.
Yeah. I'm not crazy about the self-driving either, but unless they are all doing it, I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I just know that driving in LA is rough because everyone is a zombie. No one is actually driving. They're just they're using the space between them and the front of them to do more shit on their phone, and then they're not actually navigating where to go. And I actually have someplace I want to be and don't give a fuck about my phone. So I would like to go around all these idiots, and I do. But the moment it's going to be automated cars and different lanes, whatever, I don't know, maybe it'll be better. I don't know. Sorry. I'm better now.
That's one of the things that...
Another thing, I'll tell you something else.
Okay, so here's one of my comments on the whole everybody being distracted when they're driving. What the hell is fun to drive anymore? That you can afford. That gets
New
you
cars?
from point A to B. That can tote your kids. That isn't $100,000.
I don't know. I saw some cool shit today, and I'm coming around.
I heard the Bronco is.
I don't like new. Oh yeah, we never finished that. Sorry about that, buddy. The Bronco guys are selling them, but they're not making them any faster. So sorry, but they are upping the demand, and you're in line. That's what they said about his. I said, my buddy's got one 10 months. He goes, 10 months? It's coming.
Good answer.
But Kat, I'm not a new car person. So, we just went through a what the heck do we get for the easy, comfortable around town car. And we ended up with a used Mini, a 20-year-old Mini. Not 20 years old.
I love the Minis though. I love that. But see, that's the thing. Like the new Honda Civic Type R is $49,000. That's a Civic.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of car, but you're exactly right. You're exactly right.
And I mean, that used to be the inexpensive, fun to drive cars.
Is that a car meant for turnover purposes, or do you hold on to it?
Whatever you want to do. But the Type R to me, I don't know. We're talking about, like, you asked for a cheap, affordable, fun car. I mean, anything for me in my generation, like that Type R and the modern shit, it's too goddamn fast. Like, I know how to drive. So a real car that's that fast and that capable, like I can't, we're genuinely at the place where you can't drive that on the road. Where are you going to open that up? And we live in a place where we do open it up. You know, we have a place, luckily. I go to the softer, easier, smaller stuff. I'm telling you, the Prius that we saw today, I don't know what it's like to drive, but it was genuinely good looking. Or genuinely better. I mean, it was, I don't know if I would think, if somebody just said, hey, look at that car, is it good looking? Yeah, I think I would. I think I would say, I like what they did there. It's a lot of other cars. When you see the new Prius, you'll see a lot of other cars in there. It looks like the Tesla from the side. It looks like the Dodge Dart from the back. There's a lot of other cars in there.
I've always liked
Kind
the
of
Prius.
neat.
But
Ish. Prius to me is like the same since it came out, so that it's different at all.
But it's different every few years. You just haven't noticed because it's always been some version of this thing. Some version of that weird looking shape thing. But now it's different.
So good for them.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, I forgot what we
sorry.
were talking about because now
We
I'm
do
thinking
that.
about what the Prius looks like. No, the cars being better looking is also something they haven't really stood out in a while. All the available cars for everybody else have been pretty normal standard. But to your point about the power, everybody's trying to put really strong 0 to 60 times and numbers on paper. My father owned that NSX. It's the end of his life. He owned multiple NSXs. That 6-cylinder car was more fun to drive than most of the cars, much more expensive and fancier than it was, because it was engineered so well and it was so much fun to drive. It's like a Miata. But my boss said he wants to trade in a Miata for my car, and I said, I'll take your Miata. I will so take your Miata because
If he's
it's
got
so
an
much fun to
early
drive.
Miata, I would have a Miata in a heartbeat. They're just hard to
That's
find
what
because
I'm saying.
everybody knew they were great cars, so they've all been raced or wrecked.
Yes, and so that's what I'm saying is that we have lost the inexpensive. It doesn't have to go 0 to 60. It doesn't have to have 1,018 horsepower like my car does to be fun to drive.
Can I tell you what was back at the LA?
Has to be
Oh, you're not done.
engineered well.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
No, you're not. It's not quite loud enough, so I keep interrupting you because I keep thinking you're done and you're not. So please go ahead.
I am done now.
God damn it! I'm sorry. One thing that was at the LA Auto Show today, and I don't know if it's just, we had the marketing guy here, the VP here the other day, David. I don't know if it's just his influence. It seems as though the car manufacturers brought this. What was back was fun. It was a more fun environment. There was nothing stuffy. And when I say that, I mean even the Porsche room that's always on a separate area. They're always away from everybody else. They've always had this same little zone. It's always stuffy. It's always just very Porsche, and sometimes that can be stuffy. This was the most fun ever. It looked like Myers-Manx did it. It was all sorts of fun and bright colors, and you felt like you were outside. Just really, really neat.
That's fun.
And I made the comment. I go, boy, this is like the least stuffy it's ever been in the Porsche room. I love it. It's really, really great. And then I had a plastic cup that I needed to throw out because there's no garbage anywhere because it's a nice place. And so I go, there's this little, little cafe area in this little Porsche area. And the guy stops me before, it's like a velvet rope at this little cafe thing in the Porsche area. And he goes, oh, sir, do you have the black Porsche wristband? And I go, no, I don't. I go, where would I get that? I'm playing along like, oh, it's not a big deal. And because I'm thinking I'm invited to this. I mean, you can't be more supposed to be there than our crew, right? So why would we not be allowed over the thing? He goes, oh, well, that you would have gotten the black wristband if you were invited to the thing last night. And I was like, I was invited to the thing last night. What the hell are you talking about? He goes, well, you would have gotten one if you showed up for this. I said I just didn't come. You would have gotten one if you showed up. Literally on the other side of this thing was, I don't know, nothing but a place to sit down, maybe. But VIP room in the middle of this fun fucking thing. All it made me think was, you had me and you lost me. Boo. Boo, boo, boo. Yeah, crap.
I see that.
Porsche Members Lounge or something like that. It was very, very strange. It was very strange and upsetting. Anyway, go ahead. Anybody?
I had a BMW Z3 for a few years. That was a hell of a lot of fun to drive.
A BMW what?
Z3.
What year did you have?
The James Bond year, or the year after the James Bond year, whatever it was. 96, I think. 95, 96.
But it was that generation, the first year?
Yeah.
I mean, the first
Yeah.
generation. Did you have Bond Blue?
It was silver, but it was gorgeous.
Yeah, they're
I
fun
loved
cars.
it. It was so much fun to drive.
Manual?
Manual.
Nice. William Miller
Yeah.
says again, if you build it, Kat, they will come. Dad is always with you. I feel that too. That's beautiful. Will the JZD have full-size windows? Great question.
Yes. Bob Brandis engineered full-size windows for the DMC-12, and so he's working on our doors overall for this car. He's working
Holy
on
crap.
engineering. My father, he met him at the DCS 2000 and saw his windows and said his engineers couldn't figure it out. He should have hired Bob.
I'll say another thing about Bob. He's also one of the very first time machine builders, like outside of the movie. He was one of the very, it's not an accurate time machine as you would say, but today, but he made his DeLorean into a time machine at the same time that I think like Terry and Oliver were doing theirs and Doug Vader, like the very first ones to do it. So he's always been sort of on my radar as well for that reason.
That's pretty early.
Yeah, whenever it was, and probably in the 90s, I'm guessing, way back when they did it. But he was one of the first, and he always had, like you said, he always engineered all those other. He was kind of a Doc Brownie kind of character, so he would kind of modify all these different little things on the car, Time Machine and DeLorean. Like she said, he's the one who came up with the full size windows.
I kind of love that.
So I had a document from him from 2000 that I guess he gave me back then. It was weird because we've been talking a lot lately. He's working on a really great documentary about my dad. And so we've been talking a lot, and then going through all my old paperwork, I found this document he gave me back in 2000. So I've had it for 22 years and I didn't even know. And it's all about how a DeLorean can be made into a legitimate time machine based on physics. And it breaks down the math, and it breaks down all of the physics on how you have to travel at a stupid fast speed. But if you can get that fast, then you can actually travel through time. And he explains to you the physics of it all. Is really amazing. He's such a brilliant man. So that's one of the people that working with him, like we sit and we have those higher level conversations that you and I have about the multiverse and, you know, about all of the existence. And we just have these great conversations. I never want to stop talking to him. I really ramble way too much when we talk because I want to ask him every question on the planet. It's great. Really being able to know these people and learn from them. And you should check out his documentary though. I learned in it.
Is it out? Or is he working on it?
He's been releasing the episodes at the Las Vegas show that he does. He has that DeLorean show once a year in Las Vegas. And he's been releasing the episodes there. I don't know if he's putting any online, but we're going to work together to put it out. He hired an actor who sounds a lot like my dad to do voiceovers and tell his story. And
Wow.
I had a hard time watching it at first because it's so on the nose. It was so powerful. I could only watch one episode at a time. It's
Wow.
just really good.
I have one last question regarding you and watching DeLorean stuff, and then we really should wrap it up because we've all gone late. I know it's 3 hours later there. There's that the one on Netflix that's I think it's like 3 or 4 parts, and it's called.
Is that the Framing John? The other one?
Myth and Mogul.
That's it.
Yes.
Did
Something
you
like that.
ever watch that one, and what did you think?
No, because Jason watched it, and what she says is a complete and total lie, and I have no interest in hearing her say things to hurt me.
Oh, I see. Okay. I mean, you were very clearly.
Well, so I text my brother, sister, somebody about her being a malignant narcissist, and her response to that was to find out about it and then call my father one on television. There is no man I have ever met on this planet that is further from a malignant narcissist than he is. And to go and say that about my father, specifically to hurt me, to smear his name, to specifically hurt me on a Netflix special, is just indicative of growing up DeLorean as a boy named Sue and my life being harder because of who I'm born as. I didn't watch it because I don't want to give her the satisfaction of saying those words to me. But Jason watched it and he found it absolutely wrong and disgusting. So I don't really know what is in that documentary. I do know that Christina lies about my father in it. And because of that, I don't want to give her the satisfaction of saying it to my face.
I feel like I need to see it again. When we watched it, I didn't intend to watch it, and it was like 3 parts. I didn't intend to watch the first one, and then once the first one was over, well, we got to keep going on this, and we just blew through all 3. I really liked it and enjoyed it from the standpoint of I got to, I didn't know you when you were that young. We didn't know each other till after that. So when I'm getting to watch all of the real footage of your dad, of your childhood homes, all of that stuff that I feel like I know about you because we've known each other so long and we've talked about everything that exists in our lives. I've built my own mental stuff up here, but being able to see it all and being, that's Lannington Farm. I get. For me, it was like awesome. I really liked it. The only thing that was missing was you. It was very obvious that you were plucked from this story. I think they showed like the People magazine, with you guys, and maybe, they didn't. It's not like they pretend you didn't exist, but there was zero reference.
You weren't the focus in any way.
Yeah.
So whether that was anyone's choice or...
Well, I think she's right about that one.
Yeah, no, well, I also didn't respond. They did reach out to me, and it was on a social media that I wasn't using at the time. I found it when I reconnected all my stuff. So they didn't exclude me. I just wasn't included. And I'm sure that they left me out because they didn't get my permission to talk to me.
Well, that makes me feel a little bit better, actually.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think they did it on purpose, but I'm glad I wasn't part of it, especially given what happened.
Well,
or what I believe happened, based on what I'm told.
But you being omitted by your own choice is different than being omitted for respect is different than being omitted out of a grudge or something like that, which is what it seemed.
I don't think it was done. I don't. I mean, it could have been, but I don't think that was the case. I think I was just left out because I didn't respond.
Good.
And then whatever was said that wasn't true. I remember talking to Zach. I don't know if he was really happy with how he was portrayed either, but he keeps having that happen to him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna do many more.
I'm gonna watch it again, and then I'll whatever. See whether I, because I know Jason's being protective for you. He's trying to filter for you. Yeah.
Just tell me what parts to watch to be like, hey, they have this great picture of Lamington Farm. You should go check it out.
It was neat for me to see that. Yeah, and then if I recall, I feel like the New York townhouse was in there too. I feel like which would have been I never would have seen before.
That's one of the things that's hard for me is not being able to share that part of my life with Jason. It's very difficult to explain how I grew up. He saw the houses we went to in Los Angeles with Christina, and that's the 1%. But when you're the 1% of the 1% of the 1%, kids came to my house and said, I thought I was rich till I came to your house.
Yeah. Oh, we could go down the list of your childhood friends. Every time we're watching a movie from well, it doesn't matter, but there's a lot of people you grew up with who are fucking famous now.
Yeah. It's true. Well, and so the way I describe it to people is, people say, oh, you had all these people who you grew up with. I said, yeah, the 1% is very small. Your world was 99% larger than mine. Those were just the people I had access to.
Wow. Wow. What a perspective. Mike, you have anything for Kat here?
You took the words out of my mouth. What a perspective. It's grateful to be able to see, like, I watched the Netflix documentary before connecting with Kat, and I just love the fact that I get to hear that perspective of things as well. I just like you, Jay, I want to go back and watch it again because now I've got new glasses, and I want to watch it with those glasses as opposed to, just the ones that were interested in the Back to the Future, or the Ireland of it all, the Johnny Carson of it. That's the stuff that I kind of knew, and of course was fascinated with it. So I'm very grateful to get the other side of the story over here, and the depth of perspective. So thank you for that, Kat.
And thanks for
It was a magical life.
Thanks for doing this tonight too. I know you did have one hell of a week. I mean, let's not get into it even a little bit, but you have really you've been swinging this week.
I have you and Nicole and my wonderful DeLorean family, Bill, who always makes me smile. I have you all to carry me through. So no matter how hard it gets these days, it's never too hard.
Oh. Do you feel like you're an inspiration at all? Oh, here comes the unicorn.
I feel like I'm a unicorn.
She's magical.
Hilarious.
I hope so.
Do you?
I'm
I'm serious. In the way that people
fun.
are coming to you
Yeah.
and saying that your dad was an inspiration to them, do you feel that you might be also going down that road?
I hope.
I mean, right now,
can't
for
look
sure.
at myself. Yes, I want people to be inspired. I want people to know that 8 months ago, a man told me I didn't deserve a seat at the table and didn't want to work with me. And today I'm telling him, I bet you want a seat at my table now.
Ta-da!
Don't let anybody ever tell you that you are not worthy. You can rise to the occasion, and don't let people who hate you beat you down.
Yeah.
I am DeLorean, hear me roar.
She's the chief executive cat, for God's sake.
That's
Yeah. All right. Well, I love you. Love to Jason. I don't know why I thought he was going to be here tonight too. Was I talking to you via his text, or was that him? Do you know? Did you even know that we were texting?
No, you were
before the show?
probably yeah. I no, he was probably he texts a lot of people as me these days. I don't,
Oh my gosh! No, he was. He didn't know that I was doing all of the same stuff with you on the other line, so he was just like, "Wait, are we doing tonight?" Because he wanted to add. Whatever, doesn't matter. We got to get out of here. I love you so very
that's
much.
good.
Okay, let's do this again, and we're gonna have your chief design guy or whatever on as well.
yes. This
Whatever
would
the
be
guy,
exciting.
whatever the
Angel
guy
or-
he wanted to do tonight that I couldn't do. I was like, that's too many people.
Oh yeah, no. Chris is helping us build our car. He wants to come talk about what he's doing, so that's cool.
Our master
We'll do
builder,
it. It'll be-
master builder.
Yeah.
Got it. Awesome. All right.
Don't say
Is that-
master builder like that. It sounds sturdy.
He's a master builder. Tell your friends. All right, so hey, we've got tomorrow is GVBC. Everybody, here, let me put everybody back in. Ugh, gosh. This is why people just do a podcast with their iPhones. It's much easier. All right, hang on. I have free tickets. I got 10 free tickets to the auto show. You can use them any day. I am bringing them up to GVBC tomorrow. These are to be given out. If you want to go to the auto show, all you have to do is ask me for a ticket tomorrow. If you want more than one, that's fine too. I don't care. Probably shouldn't ask for all 10. That'd be kind of a dick move. But if you ask for them, I'd probably give them to you. So let me know what you want. I'll have these with Yellow Car up at GVBC tomorrow, and they are to be given out. I may forget, but I have them with me. Ask for auto show tickets. They're free. Did I say that? They're free. Yeah, giveaway, free.
Good point.
We don't even have the prize wheel yet. We're not even using it. Haven't even spun it. We're already giving away tickets. Tomorrow is it's also kind of industry day tomorrow. Porsche's coming up with a bunch of 911 Ts because they're doing the ride and drives. Sam, Seen Through Glass, remember him? International guy. I think he's from England, but he did the drive in a 911 all around the world. He literally shipped it from continent to continent
Yeah,
and drove it all around the
remember
world.
him.
He will be there tomorrow. Ran into him today, this morning. It should be really fun. There's going to be a lot of people. So, and then next week we're back with Greg Grunberg and Chris Jacobs. That's one show. That's Tuesday's show. Tuesday we're back with Chris Jacobs and Greg Grunberg. They're doing the same show. We're going to talk about their new podcast. We're going to talk about Greg's Porsche problems. Yes, he bought a 996. Yes, the motor blew up. There's a whole story behind it. And then Thursday is Thanksgiving, so that we won't be here then. But okay, that's it. I love everybody who's here. Okay, I love Mike. I love Kat. I love you. Now we love you at home. We love everybody on Instagram if there's anybody still here. And please love one another. And we'll see you out there. Oh, God, the election shit's getting crazy. Everything's getting crazy politics-wise. Please stick together. Don't draw a line in the sand because somebody over there likes somebody else politically. None of that shit matters at the end of the day. There's more that ties us together than separates us. So we love all of you. Have a great weekend. I think I said it all. Oh, wait, there's shit this weekend. Shit. Saturday is the Cars and Coffee at the Auto Show. Saturday night, we're at Christian James Hand's show. And I think there's stuff Sunday as well. Love you. Bye.